And this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services Talking Business, our interview series talking with leaders in the fields of banking, insurance, customer service, digital marketing, and business education. All to highlight great work of our team in Harrison, New York, taking care of our clients, providing special benefit programs and customer service management to the credit card and payments industry. And today we're very pleased to talk with Joseph Peri, who is the president and CEO of Junior Achievement of New York, introduced to us by a good friend, Jim Facina. And Joe, good to see you. Always impressed by the work of Junior Achievement.
Ken, thanks very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Well, that's great. I mean, Jim Facina, we've worked with for a number of years, strong advocate in a number of the direct marketing associations in the area, and he always tells us about it. He said you got a special event coming up next week, December 7th through the 9th, that you've moved online. Tell us about that if you would.
Sure, happy to do that. And Jim is a terrific partner of ours. He's a JA alum himself, by the way, and is currently serves on our board of directors, a terrific supporter. Yeah, we have a summit meeting happening next week online virtually. It's called the Inspiring Tomorrows Summit, and we've put this together really in lieu of we usually have a big annual in-person gala every year to really spotlight our work and our partners, our students, teachers, corporate supporters, et cetera. So we've taken this online, as so many other organizations have done this year, and it's given us an opportunity to actually do it in a little bit of a different way, which has been quite interesting. We've got a lot more content that we're able to put into this. So really, what we're trying to do, the theme of this, really, in keeping with Junior Achievement's mission, is really to inspire and empower and prepare young people to be successful in the global economy. And we're really trying to tie those themes into, what's going on in our current environment. So obviously, the pandemic has been front and center, the struggle that kids have had with that, but also issues around diversity, equity, and inclusion, particularly in the business space. So we're really trying to bring all of those issues together in a forum and really highlight the work of what our kids are doing in the program, the kind of benefits they're getting from the program, all the great supporters that we have. We have tremendous support from the business community, which is really kind of the primary area of support. But we also are supported by state government as well as local governments as well. We have partnerships in Westchester with the Youth Bureau. We have partnerships in New York City with the New York City Council. So we're bringing some interesting folks into that as well, because the public sector and the business sector really have to work together on this issue of empowering young people.
Very good. Well, Junior Achievement's a very well-respected organization. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the scope of activities that you have in the New York area? Sure.
So really what we do is, as I said, the mission is to empower young people, and we start as young as kindergarten. We go all the way through high school. So really the idea is to get these kinds of experiences and programs and exposure to kids, at the pre-college level. One of the reasons why we do what we do is frankly because in our society, we really don't teach a lot of the real world connections in our regular curriculum in school. And JA has been for now over 100 years, has been really an organization that's helping to bridge that gap. We do this by teaching around three different content areas: financial literacy, which we think is really an important life skill that every person should have personally as well as in their work environments. We teach about entrepreneurship because entrepreneurship is such an important part of business growth and development. And then we really teach about the world of work in a broader context, careers and career exploration, and what it really takes to be successful in the modern world. And we do that primarily by engaging volunteers, mostly from the business community, but from other spheres in society as well, connecting the kids to these people and really bringing these issues and this content to life. So typically in a normal year, we had, the pandemic has set us back a little bit, but in a typical year, our programs reach over 100,000 K through 12 students in the greater New York City area. That's New York City, the lower Hudson Valley, and on Long Island.
Well, that's a terrific reach that you have to young people in the metropolitan area. Now, one of the areas I saw on your website that you spend a lot of time on is financial literacy. Certainly
Yes.
very important to all of us who work in the banking industry. We were talking to the New York State Community Independent Bankers Association, and that's a big theme for them. Tell us a little bit about your financial literacy program.
Sure, and I will say, by the way, that we have tremendous partnerships in the banking community. Our missions are very much connected, and they are very, very interested in seeing a financially literate, customer base, future employees. So the work we do is really very much connected, and they support us. We try to teach kids. We start with the basics. We start with, how do you earn money? How do you say, what's the difference between saving and spending? How do you do good budgeting? Why is it important to save money? What are the things that you can do in the future by saving money? We teach kids about investments. We teach kids about insurance. Really all of those things that create a financially stable environment for our people as they live their lives and improve their lives too. That's an important part of it. We have one program in particular at the middle and high school, which is kind of our flagship program for financial literacy. It's called Finance Park, and it's really a fascinating program. We partner with the schools, and we have a curriculum that's about 15 or 16 sessions that the teacher actually teaches the kids in the classroom. And then at the culmination, at the end of that, the kids actually visit a place called Finance Park, which is really like getting out into the real world. And they come into this place and they're assigned a persona. They may be told that they're 30 years old and they make $50,000 and they are a single parent and they've got 2 kids. And they really have to navigate life, with that set of circumstances. And they go through and they have to, make purchasing decisions and investment decisions. They understand the connection between, work and income, and really kind of have to navigate through that. And it's a terrific program. We're actually doing it this year in the pandemic. We're doing it with a virtual gamification model. So the kids aren't actually, in a space physically. They're doing it through a gaming site. But it's incredible. The kids learn. One of the things I always hear from the kids is, wow, it's really, hard to be an adult. But it's life, right? They have to learn, what it's going to be like to navigate the real world. So tremendous. Last year we put over 5,000 kids in the New York metro area through this program.
Well, that's terrific. Now, tell us a little bit about if someone would like to volunteer or get involved with Junior Achievement. What are the ways that they can do so?
Sure. And by the way, we have over 7,000 people a year volunteering with us. But the easiest way to do it is just by visiting our website, which is www.jany.org. And there's a place there to sign up as a volunteer. We do a lot of our volunteering through our business partnerships. So our companies help mobilize their employees to partner, but we can certainly do this with anyone who visits our website.
Absolutely, that's great. Now, talking with Joe Peri, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of New York, and tell us a little bit about your background. You were with the Council of Economic Education. You've got a background in accounting from Deloitte, graduate Fordham University. Tell us a little bit about the steps along your career path.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Actually, when I talk to some of the kids in our programs, one of the things I talk to them about is, my own personal pathway, which is, ended up in a very different place than I thought it would be. But I started out, as you mentioned, in the public accounting world. I worked for Deloitte. I'm a CPA, and then I went to work briefly in the corporate accounting realm. Spent some time there and realized, that was not exactly what I wanted to do. Um, and I took a job after that with a private foundation doing running their financial management. And from there, it kind of I got to know and understand what the nonprofit sector was all about. And it really kind of was a career path pivot for me. So I wound up really spending the bulk of my career in management in the nonprofit world. And fortunately, I found organizations like Junior Achievement and the Council for Economic Education, which really kind of are a good match with the sort of the skills that I had as a professional.
And Joseph Peri, maybe a final word on the virtual summit that you will host next week online, December 7th through the 9th. Generally, you said it was in the 5 to 7 o'clock time span, so that's a good chance for people to tune in. What will people see when they tune into your event next week?
Well, we're going to have really a lot of terrific content and some really terrific guests who support junior achievement. Our main honoree for the gala is Dan Schulman, President and CEO of PayPal. We've got the Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins sitting down with two high school kids in our program from Yonkers. She's going to talk with them about their futures. We've got a panel of entrepreneurs talking about the future of entrepreneurship in the New York area. We've got a terrific panel of business corporate leaders who are really going to take on the issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and why that's so important as a business issue. Lots of students involved, honoring the great teachers that we work with, the volunteers. So there are a lot of sessions, and people can jump in for any and all of them that they want. There's no cost. We just want to get people exposed and involved in what we're doing.
So important. Let's just go back again for a second to how people could volunteer either on a company basis or an individual basis. What would be some of the volunteer experiences that they might be able to participate in?
Sure. We have really a wide range of volunteer opportunities. Some of them are, what I would say relatively short, maybe 3 hours of time working directly with a classroom of kids. Sometimes we can structure it, or we do structure it, where it's a periodic or episodic engagement throughout the course of a semester with a group of kids. A lot of it, either it's teaching our curriculum programs, which are, for anybody in the sort of business or work world, is pretty easy to follow. But a lot of it is we do a lot of what we call job shadows and career speaker series to really get the kids exposed to people in the work world. It's amazing, what an eye opener it can be for young people to talk with, and in a non-pandemic world to actually visit with people in the business world, to see what life is like day to day, and to try to envision themselves. There's an old saying that you have to see it to be it. And that's really important. It sounds simple, but it is so important to opening kids' eyes to what the possibilities are that they can, dream about and reach for as they think about their futures.
Yeah, your website talks a lot about the importance of adult role models, and as you said, suggesting all sorts of career paths that students can be taken. Well, I hope we can do this again very soon when you have future events coming up. But this week, December 7th to 9th, your virtual summit, and we'll send out the link to that on our caption to this. And so nice to talk with you, Joseph Peri, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of New York. Good to meet you today.
Thank you, Ken. Great to be with you as well. Thanks.
Absolutely. And again, so this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services, representing our team in Harrison, New York. We provide benefits and customer service to the credit card and payments industry. I'm in my home office today in White Plains, New York. Have a great day, everyone. See you again soon.